Glad I put up the tarp. It rained off and on most of the night. It wasn't supposed to rain at all, but what can you do? And that's my little tiny tarp. That thing is only barely longer than the hammock. And it seems like every time I bring this tarp, I bring it when it's not supposed to rain, and it always rains. So I've never gotten wet though with it, so that's good. Beautiful night. Right when I got in the hammock, there was a large tree up on the other side across the river here. It fell, and it was way up off the trail, and I'm way down in a valley here. But it fell for a good 30 seconds. And throughout the night there was, I think it was maybe porcupines, or could have been skunks or possums or something. But with all the millipedes that are in the soil here underneath the leaves, they were just having a field day. So they were kind of rooting through the leaves. And I heard some deer and some owls and stuff like that, but other than that, it's been pretty peaceful. I don't know if I'm just gonna have like a Cliff Bar, like something simple here at camp, and then just hike until I come across better water to have breakfast. That might be what I do, because it didn't rain enough to put water in that creek, that's for sure. So, yeah, I'm just kind of laying here, decide what my game plan's going to be. I got plenty of time to figure it out. But, oh, I don't want to get out of the hammock. I'm too comfortable. I should probably, I'll get up and I'll show you camp. I mean, it's really simple. You got the hammock, and there's a chair. And that's it. That's camp. So that's it. That is camp. There's one little small flat rock over on the other side that I put the pocket rocket on and boiled up my water last night. And that is the extent of it. Once I pack this down, I feel like I was never here. The millipedes can have their little spot back. So the trail is up there. It's about where I was last night when I saw the water, a little bit of water down here. It's basically a puddle. I was able to get maybe a half a knock bag of not muddy water out of it, enough to drink for the night and make my dinner. And the bugs have found me. It took them all of 30 seconds. All right, so I've decided I'm going to just have Cliff Bar and ration what little water I have, and hopefully I come across better water here pretty soon. I'm going to be heading down that way, and this is supposed to run into another confluence and another confluence, and hopefully somewhere there is running water, because it's going to be a long 11 miles if I got no water. And this little puddle over here that I was using last night, the little trickle of water, I could use that, but like up here, there was frogs and stuff in the water, and I could hear them all throughout here last night. So then there's frogs in the water that I was using last night that weren't there when I filtered it. So I'd rather not filter frog water in like a little condensed area like that. So, all right, so it's a beautiful morning, nice and cool. It's about 7:35 or so, and time to hit the trail. I am at the end of this little straightaway. As I've been coming down from the camp, there's been a few down trees. Been a little slow going. You're right on the side of this really steep grade, and we're getting further from the creek bed. Now there's been more water over there, but there's no access to it. Then when I was planning this out, I figured this area would be the furthest I'd want to go. Or maybe like the midpoint I'd want to go to camp. And I'm glad I stopped where I did, because there's nowhere. I would have had no access to water right here. Now here's some more down trees. I gotta find a way through these. On the bright side though, I hear water down here. So I'm gonna make this turn, head out that way. And then there's a, looks like we drop a little bit and come to another little creek crossing. And at that point, I should be able to get down to this main creek. I'll find a way down there if I don't find a way down there sooner. But hearing running water is a good morale booster. I'll be honest, when I got to camp last night, I was a grumpy hiker. I was hot, I was tired, I was sweaty, I was hungry, and I didn't want to eat. I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. And the bugs were absolutely insane. Just absolutely insane. Every time you try to stop and just rest for a second, catch your breath, or try to cool off, anything, they'd be right on you. Yeah, that's not any more likely. All right, let me find my way around this. I'll get back with you. So I got through that last part. It's like probably 200 yards of trees down. There's obviously some kind of microburst or high wind event or something here. But it's weird. It's like the trees just landed on the trail, nowhere else. Oh, this is gonna be slow and miserable, especially when you can hear water. That's a lot steeper than it looks, and there's it's like this underneath all this jewel weed. So I mean, I could go down to the water and follow the creek. Let's see how this looks. Doesn't look good. Another spot, and I don't know if it's gonna come through in a GoPro, but there's that one tree's got blaze on it. That is just completely blocked. I'm gonna see if I can get down to the creek bed and follow that, because I know that the trail crosses the creek bed in a little while. So that, I'll go down there, at least I'll get some water. Decide what I'm gonna do. If I can get through the trail, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm barely moving a mile an hour through all this. So I mean, it might clear up right around the corner, who knows. But let me see if I can get down that water. All right, so I just scrambled down that, get down here to the water. Gonna fill up on water. I don't know if that was a jet I heard, or if that was thunder. I know this is fog up above me. I can see it rolling through. I'm hoping it's just fog. But it doesn't look much more promising down there through the creek. And these trees, that spot I was just at up there, these trees come all the way down to the water. I don't know, I'm gonna have to turn around, go back the way I came. Take the road for part of the way, I don't know. I gotta stop and think, eat, get my head about me, figure out what I'm doing, and then continue on. Water and food right now, definitely need. And the humidity, I mean, I'm down by creeks, of course it's humid, but it is really, really humid right now. I'm sweating. I don't know if you can see the sweat on my arm. It's just standing here. So that thing's called the Coffee Rocket. And I was planning on doing more of an in-depth look at that during this trip, but with the current situation, not going to really get into it. Basically, this little blue piece down here has a coffee filter in it, a metal mesh coffee filter. You fill it up with coffee, then you snap on the little water hopper here. You fill it up with hot water, and it filters through the coffee. I guess that's really the biggest look at it you have to have, right? Panda has one of these, and Dragon was showing me. We were down in North Carolina, and I was like, I got to get one of those because instant coffee is horrible. It's so hard to find instant coffee that tastes halfway decent. So real brewed coffee on a trail, not so bad. And in a situation like this, it's gonna be a nice morale boost to have that. Got my oatmeal cooking over here. I'm gonna eat that, have my coffee, and look at the map. I think I know what I'm gonna do, but once I have some food into me, I'll have a better idea. That was a much needed break. Breakfast. I'm gonna follow the creek for a while and see what it looks like. The trail, according to the map, crosses this in maybe a little over a mile. I'm hoping, I'm gonna keep an eye on what's going on up there. I'm hoping that clears up. After it crosses the creek, it stays on the opposite side here, which doesn't seem to be as bad, at least here. And then it goes up to a forest road, which is that one I passed at the like the last road crossing I had last night before I got to camp. So we'll see. I've got my sealskins on. The water's not running too bad. I know I've got water here. Well, we'll just hope that clears up and then get back up on the trail. But if it doesn't, and it doesn't look like it's getting any better when I get towards that road, I'll just have to, it's going to be a long road hike back to the car, but if I got to take the road back, I got to take the road back. Right now, I'm kind of like in between. I mean, I know what I've got behind me, and it's going to suck. And then it's adding miles and a lot more road hike. This way, I don't know what I got, but it's a little bit shorter. So we'll see. Well, I'm maybe 200 feet up the creek, and that is impassable. Oh man, all right, I'm gonna maybe try to head back up. All this stuff over here is what was blown down in my path before. Maybe I'll try heading up and see if I can get back up there. Get around, it looks a little better up in that section. All right. Well, I made it back up the trail. I had to basically climb up a down tree back from the top to the bottom because it was facing downhill to get up the tree, to get back up the trail. And it was just down tree after down tree, and not little trees. These things were massive. So I did not record any of that because I was really more paying attention to getting through all that, watching out for trees that might be hanging up, widowmakers and things like that. I'm finally back to a spot that's looks a little more like a trail, which has got me very happy. So I'm gonna guess that there was supposed to be a sign up at that last road that I passed last night that should have said trail closed due to storm damage. I'm gonna take a wild guess at that because your average hiker isn't getting through that. I'm pretty good at keeping my bearing as I'm coming through stuff, and if I had known that there was some kind, if I had known there was some kind of notification at the other end that said that it was that bad and to use the road as a detour, I would have just taken the road. I wouldn't have done that. That's way sketchier than I should have been probably doing on a solo hike without, well, it's not solo anymore. I got another spider. Without other people with me. If you're gonna do the Chuck Keiper Trail and you're gonna do East Branch first as a connector, you're gonna don't get lulled into a false sense of security because I know it's coming.
I know it's coming. Nothing's this flat for this long without making you pay for it in Pennsylvania. Oh, spider web right in the eye. But I just took my time and didn't take any risks. Oh, spiders. Come on, spiders, go away. So I think this is my next creek crossing, or would-be creek crossing. And this forest looks a lot better shape than what I just came through. So things are looking up. I think I was probably making like a 1/4 mile an hour back there through that blowdown. It was slow going. All right, I'm gonna try to get a little distance here, and I mean it's gorgeous. Now that I can actually kind of enjoy it a little bit and see, I don't have giant trees laying all next to me. It's a gorgeous forest over here. So here's what I got. Just about to make the climb up to the road, and I got more blowdown. Kind of stuck going this direction. Back behind me here, went over logging them, kind of making my noise and looking for snakes and stuff, and I stepped over, and there was a rattlesnake inside the tree. Like in the tree where it had blown down. So I'm being really cautious right here because there could be more. I just want to get through this. I want to get through this blowdown. I'm tired. I'm done with it. Once you get to the road, I'll look and see what the other section of the trail looks like. I really don't want to start taking forest roads to get out. But if it's going to be like this the rest of the way, that's going to take me another 2 days to get out of here. This is ridiculous. I got you mounted to my chest strap, so I just came up out of that hill that I climbed. That just absolutely sucked. There was more blowdown. That was absolutely horrible. The trail cuts through here, but there's this access road. And this goes up to the next little road I was on yesterday. And I think the trail runs into that. So after going through all that crap down there at that blowdown, I'm going to bypass this little cutoff. I'm just going to take the road. I'm tired of climbing over trees. It's too hot for that. Okay, so that little road I was on comes off right up there. Get you straight. Comes out right up there. It took me less than 5 minutes to get up here. The Four Ridges Trail comes up over here, and judging by the rest of that thing, it would take me an hour to get through that. Oh, so done with that trail, that section of trail. That was the worst section of trail I've hiked in a very long time. Now we're going to start the Diamond Rock Trail, or Diamond Rock Trail. And we'll see. This will take us right over to PA 144. And we cross that, we're really only about 2 miles from the car if I was to hike the road. So we'll see what this looks like. Hopefully this is more maintained. And I don't want to gripe about trail maintenance, because it's a big forest and they only get so much money, and a lot of this is maintained by the Keystone Trails Association, which is basically a volunteer group, and that's a lot of work that's got to get done down there. That's crazy. I wonder if maybe there were signs up and somebody took them down, or they blew down or something, because there should definitely be signs at both ends of that section saying either, you know, this section of trail is closed, use the road, or at least, you know, extremely difficult, storm damaged trail, hard to follow in sections or something like that. Man, that one got me, that little section. Down here to the South Sproul, or the Sproul State Forest South Renovo Municipal Watershed. So no camping in this area. If you're doing this trail counterclockwise, this is where you turn off. Don't get spoiled by the road. I hiked for like 2 minutes, so I realized I didn't see any place. This is where we actually turn and go down. It's gonna take us down to a little creek, and I'm gonna stop down there, fill up on water, and relax for a little bit, take my shoes off. Because it'll be about halfway for the day. And there's supposed to be a vista up that way on the trail. It is no longer there. So if you're looking for the vista, don't bother. It is gone. So let's get down to this creek and just kind of relax for a minute. Yeah. Another section of trail drops you right down into a ravine. They don't kid. They do not mess around with their elevation changes here. You go up, you go down. But on the bright side, other than the rocks, which are pretty loose and a little sketchy in some spots, there's some blowdown up here on the side, but it's not in the trail, so that's very nice. See, I'm still here. Whew. This actually works pretty good. I took my pack towel and a couple stream crossings ago. I just wet it down. I've been throwing it on my head, and it's been keeping the bugs away. But I mean, I don't know if you can see them flying around me, but they've been crazy, flying right in my eyes. It is humid. It was supposed to be sunny today, and it is not. And there definitely feels like there is some kind of weather system moving through. It feels more humid than yesterday. A little cooler air temperature, but way more humid. So I'm kind of glad the sun is up there behind the clouds, or fog, wherever it is rolling up. I mean, it's probably clouds by this point in the day, because this would be brutal. This would be absolutely brutal if the sun was out and it was this humid. So I'm about 5.5 for the day. So I kind of made that side track up there. So, and with all the zigzagging around, we're gonna call it 5. So about halfway. It should be about 10 miles for the day. Back to the car, as long as I don't run into any more detours. But stopped here at this little spot. Been following this creek for a little while, but we're down in this ravine. A lot of these areas like this, they're just in a ravine, and the trail is like 10 or 12 feet above the creek, and there's no real good access. So it took me a minute to find an access down here, and then I walked up this little pool of water, got my shoes off, just let my feet stretch a little bit, filling up some water, having some snacks. Just trying to get my mental state to a better place. It happens sometimes when you're it happens sometimes when you're out hiking. That section of trail this morning with all those down trees, that was just demoralizing. And it's when it's like that, it's not fun. and it's not really safe. So it just takes a mental toll on you. So I just really wanted to get down here to the spot, sit by the water for a little bit, and just kind of just relax, get my head right again. And this, I'm loving it out here. It is an absolutely beautiful forest. You know, that section of trail back there, you can't do anything about the weather. You can't do anything about microbursts, or I don't know if a tornado skipped through there or something. And stuff like that takes time and planning. I get machines back there. It's nobody's fault, really. Not really mad at anybody. You know, you can't be mad at anybody because the trail's in rough shape. You know, I started thinking about, oh, maybe I should bail out at 144, and you might be able to hear the car going by down there. You know, but looking at the trail, I've got a hike kind of like this, goes along a creek for a few more miles. It turns, it makes one last real climb, like 300 or 400 feet, and then you're up on a ridge at that point. You follow an old service road for a little while, you go over a small knoll, and then you come back down to the parking lot. So at least that's how it looks. That's how it looks on the map. So it's not that bad. I was gonna take my time. I'm not gonna rush. It's like 1 o'clock now. I don't care if I get back to the car at 8 o'clock. I don't care. I don't care if it takes me 7 hours to go 5 miles. I do not care. I'm gonna finish this out. I'm not gonna let that section of trail beat me. You know, I'm gonna save my lunch for maybe over by that climb. We'll see. It'll be a late lunch. But I'm gonna grab my Cliff Bar for this section of the hike, and my bag of peanuts and craisins, which is surprisingly good. I'm gonna grab that, and I'm just gonna snack on that as I'm hiking, because there's no real big climbs. It's just kind of like what I got here, just on the edge of a ravine, and you're just walking along it. So, and if I get really hungry, I'll stop and eat. Travis Chris there. This is a really good look, maybe. It's easier to see with the eye than the camera. But you can see this mountain here. Okay. You go up, get the top, you go straight back down. That's what the hills are like here. Every time you gotta go over something, that's what you do. No switchbacks. Up, over, down. Oh, that is a lot of blowdown ahead of me. A lot of blowdown. And that's on the other side of the ravine. But I'm gonna make the turn here. If I'm seeing this on this section of trail, I'm gonna take the road. I'll just hike the rest of it on the road. I'm not going through that again. Nope, no way. So just looked at my GPS map. That is not, I thought this was the turn. There's a spot where I'm gonna come down, I'm gonna turn and go up the ravine. This isn't it. So it looks like they routed this. It used to go that way and across. Now they've routed it this way, so. All right, that's not so bad. If I have to, I can just duck out to the road, it looks like. Oh no, I see it. All right, so they bypassed it. All right, so that wasn't so bad. It was a little bit of a climb. Kind of brought you down and then back up to where the trail comes in. So hopefully this side has been taken care of. It makes me think that it's just taking them a while to get to all these spots that had been damaged, because that was clearly, you know, rectified for the most part. So hopefully any other spots that have down trees has been, well, at least you know, large amounts of blowdown like that have been rerouted or cleared. All right, here's where I turn and head back up the ravine. The map makes it look like it's relatively level, kind of in this general area, before I make my big climb. Here's a campsite over there, right there, and a chair. This whole trail has been straight up a hill, straight down a hill, no steps, no switchbacks. This little 20-foot incline, switchback and steps. Like 18 miles into the hike. I guess better late than never. This is gorgeous. We are going to go across here. The trail does cross, so we'll go see what this little spot is here. It is nothing. No signs. A holding bin of some kind. Firewood, maybe? Oh, there's a campsite down there. We're way up over that creek now, probably 30 or 40 feet up above it. And just word to the wise, if you're doing this trail and you've downloaded the DCNR map, it is not accurate. DCNR map says that I'm supposed to be on the other side of this creek. And as you can see in the tree right next to me, there is Blaze right there. So I'm on the trail. Like, you are on the other side for a little bit, but it crosses over almost immediately. And then the map says that, like, right here, I should drop down, cross over the other side, go up a little bit, cross over, you know, go over and cross back up. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I don't know. But it's like they just kind of mapped out like they knew about where it was, and they were just like, oh, it goes here and zigzags across, and it'll be fine. So if you're going to use the DCNR maps for Chuck Keiper Trail, use them as a very loose guide, kind of more of a, you know, what area are you in? But some spots I'm dead on, and when I'm on roads, I'm dead on. But on the trail, there's spots where it's like it's showing me on the other side of a creek, like on the right side of the creek when I'm on the left side of the creek. And it's obvious that there's nowhere else because some of these valleys are like V's like that. So I don't know. I'm at 7.5 miles. I've been moving along pretty good. This, when I looked at it on the map, I thought this was kind of flat, like kept at the same elevation. It's not. It's just a steady incline. It's really hard to tell because of the way the contour lines are. It's just a steady incline up an old, looks like logging road. So it's been pretty smooth. It's just constant, and it's humid. I mean, my shirt, that's not all sweat. That's a lot that's coming from my wet towel that I soak in the stream crossings. I got here is a nice rock. Perfect spot to have a seat. I'll probably finish off what I got in this bottle and refill from my Nalgene. I hope there's another stream crossing, but if I only had 10 miles for today and I'm at 7.5, 2.5 miles, that shouldn't be too bad. I only got that one big climb coming up in probably 3/4 of a mile, it looks like, if the map is correct. And then I'm up on a service road for about a mile. And again, if the map is right, a gentle stroll over a little knoll and then down to the car. All right, so I just looked at the map. So where I was at that creek crossing right at the road before was at about 1,000 feet above sea level. When I get to the top of this climb, the last climb of the day, or the trip really, it'd be like 2,200 feet. That sounds like military jets. Beautiful area. So this little valley, gorgeous. This climb's not so bad so far. It's gotten a little steeper, but there's a nice breeze blowing now. It's cooling off a little bit, which is very nice. Love to know what's going on with these jets though. Just look how gorgeous this is. Well, about the 1,600 feet, and this is about where they stop being nice about it. So I'm done with the nice logging road. Now I go off into a trail. And if this map is right, and my GPS on my phone is right, and I'm only at 1,600 feet, it means I got another 600 feet to climb. I'm halfway from the river at the bottom to the top of this hill. Holy man. And here we go. All right, so I am just over 1,900 feet. And this is where the climb starts to get a little bit steeper, which is about what I thought when I first looked at the map. It looked like about a 300-foot steeper ascent. But it's not too bad. So far, the climb hasn't been bad. It's just been super humid. I'm rolling with sweat. So I've been taking lots of little breaks, drinking lots of water, trying to stay cool, and just stopping to kind of vent and keep my heart rate and breathing at a nice, easy pace. So it's taking a little more time, but I'm in no hurry. It's about 4 o'clock, so I got plenty of time. And like I said, even if I get to the top and I stop and I sit around for an hour and I get back to the car at 6 or 7 o'clock, I don't care. I'll take a nap in the car. I'm just really kind of enjoying this hazy sun. I mean, with that shot, you can see the humidity in the air. It's hot. It's hard to hold the phone because it's slipping out of my hands because I'm sweating so much. But all right, gonna continue on up the hill, see how steep this gets. Every inch of 2,200 feet. From like 950 down where actually it wasn't where across the road. It was where the trail turns away from the road. Down there where there's little steps in the switchback were, and that little crazy looking little holding shed that didn't do anything. Yeah, about 950 there, up to 2150 here. And 2 miles, just a tad over 2 miles. And it's just a constant climb, constantly. Up, 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 up. So I'm gonna follow this little old service road, old forest road here for a little bit. This is gonna drop me down a little bit, and then we're gonna head back up a little bit up to that 2,200 foot mark elevation, maybe a little bit over that. I really just took the time to enjoy it, look around. If there's roses, I would have smelled them. I wanted a challenge, and the Chuck Keiper Trail did not disappoint. Well, that little section, my friends, was the Drake Hollow Trail. 2 miles of climbing. Oh. You know how I feel about road hikes. But you know what? Right now, after the tree scrambles and 2 miles of climbing, 100 feet, 2,200 feet, whatever it was, I'll take the road hike. I'll take it. Is the humidity showing behind me? It's showing through. Oh man, it's humid. It's like I'm just in fog up here. It's just a mist, big haze. All right, so I just came up the road from that direction. Big rock vista. There it goes out of road. I'm not going out there. It might be right there. The map shows it right here. The map has not been accurate, so I'm not adding any more miles to go out to a vista. I think I see the turn off right down there in the turn. I'm gonna head down to that and then probably take the pack off for a minute. Swap water from the Nalgene into my drinking bottle, have something to eat, and then continue on. So that road hike was a little longer than I thought. It wasn't right around the corner from the vista. It was around a couple corners from the vista. And road hikes always kill my feet, especially when it's gravel. This is real gravelly, this road. And after the whole day, I figured I would stop. I got about a half mile. The trail goes back behind me. I'm gonna go up a little bit, and there's a pretty decent descent down to the parking lot. So just stretching out the feet, getting them out of the shoes for a minute, had myself something to eat, and just kind of enjoying the last little bit of this hike. Okay, so I am like maybe 100 yards from the parking lot, and this is the trail according to the trail markers, and and the GPS says I'm in the right spot. I don't see a marker here. This is bad. Is this trail here? Maybe this is the trail. I don't know. Nope, no trail marker here. I'm not going through that. Are you serious? Is that it? I have no idea. I gotta look at the map again. There's a blaze. That's kind of the trail. And this looks more like a trail here. This is nuts. Now, if I was starting the trail going clockwise, I don't know if I would do it. If this is the first thing I saw. Oh, hey, there's the parking lot. If this is the first thing I saw coming in and the trail just disappears immediately, I'm not entirely sure I would continue. Wow. Jeez, man. Yeah, I said before, I didn't want to nitpick about the maintenance because some of these spots are really, really far out, and it's a big forest, and there's a lot to be done. But that's 100 feet down the trail. Get the car. That's like 100 feet down the trail. That just disappears past that opening. The parking lot is right here. Katie did. Well, the Chuck Keiper Trail, it is done. Done and done, the East Loop at least. So my GPS was about 23.1 miles total, but I did do some backtracking and a lot of kind of scrambling, especially this morning, getting around that blowdown. So probably 22 and a half is accurate. Had a great time for most of it. That blowdown sucked. And I've got a lot of things I want to kind of touch on with this. So I'm going to probably do like an after the hike kind of video. I'll wait till tomorrow probably, or maybe Saturday, and record it. Just kind of collect my thoughts. So I'll do that. So if you guys are interested to hear what my kind of afterwards thoughts are of the Chuck Keiper Trail, be something a little bit different. But all in all, so awesome to be out and do a solo trip. I love doing the trips with everybody, with Dragon and Panda and Adam Z and DB and Chris Aconi and Backpack with Jason, all those guys, Ryan. I love doing that stuff, but sometimes it's good just to get out and do it on your own. I don't know, something about it. I really enjoy it. That solitude. I didn't see a single person on the trail, aside from the guy that was here when I got here yesterday, who was just kind of checking out the vista, and a couple cars that passed on those road crossings. I didn't see anybody hiking, not a soul. So another trip where I was out for the whole time, all by myself. A true solo hike. Love that. Love it, love it. I was looking for a challenge. This definitely fit the bill. Definitely challenged me. It's going on 7 o'clock right now. I've been back for probably a half hour, just kind of sitting here. Yeah, so it took a while, but that kind of, I'm used to rock scrambles, not tree scrambles. So that really threw me off for the day. Like I said earlier, kind of disheartens you. It's demoralizing when you know you can make time on a trail and then it takes you 40 minutes to go a half mile because there's just trees in your way. Not even a half mile, maybe a quarter mile. That took me at one spot. So that just kind of set the mood a little bit, and then I just had to stop, sit down, regroup, and then just took my time and just really enjoyed it. The humidity played a huge part in that. Show you another little look at this area. The sun is behind the clouds now. But yeah, the humidity had a big part to do with how slow some of those climbs were for me. And I wasn't looking, I'm solo on this trip, so there's no sense in pushing myself and possibly hurting myself or just getting too tired and not being able to continue on. I'm trying to have fun, I'm trying to do it responsibly. So I took my time, and I got nothing to do today. This was it, this was my plan. And if worse would have come to worse, I would have set up camp somewhere and camp tonight, or sleep in a car or something like that. So, but like I said, it's going on 7, so it's gonna take me like 3.5 hours to get home probably. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to a shower. So I'm gonna get in the car and head back to Eastern PA, Northeastern PA. Love the wilds. This area out here never disappoints. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I might do a after the hike kind of video just to kind of touch on some of those things that I noticed about this, and just kind of some of the trails in general in PA. And hopefully the breeze isn't killing the audio. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the thumbs up and give me a subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help. And I will see you in the next, because my arm is falling asleep.